Hello, it's your boy Davidoff. Welcome back to Movie Monday. This week is another marathon. This time it is Fast and Furious. Oh yes, 8 movies plus Hobbs and Shaw. We're not doing F9, partly because it's not out on 4K yet anyway. I could watch it somewhere else. But honestly, I was disappointed by it. I was actually quite disappointed by it. I love the first one, which I'm watching right now. Like the second one. I like Tokyo Drift. That was probably the most racing movie there was in this franchise. I really liked Fast and Furious 4. Fast 5 for me was the best one. I know that's the one where they started to change what Fast and Furious was, but for me that was still the best one. It was a great heist movie with great stunts. After that, they went over the top. Too over the top. A lot of ridiculous, unrealistic stuff happened, and the story wasn't too great either. But, you know, it was still fun to watch. For me, they were guilty pleasures because of the stunts. I love watching the stunts and the action in those movies. They were really fun. And yeah, that was my feeling with 6, 7 and 8. 7 had a great tribute at the end, obviously. Rest in peace, Paul. And Fast 8 for me was memorable because of the plane scene. Jason Statham on a plane protecting the baby. That was a hilarious and really well done scene. But yeah, I look forward to rewatching these. The first 5 for how good they are, but the 6th, 7th and 8th ones for, well, as they're guilty pleasures for me. Not because I like them as good movies, but the stunts are so cool that I just enjoy watching them, even though they're unrealistic and over the top. Fast 9 does have more of those stunts, but for some reason I just don't get the same vibes. I don't know what it was, but it just didn't do it for me. Fast 9 just didn't do it for me. But instead, I'll be watching Hobbs and Shaw, which I do have. So Hobbs and Shaw will be last. So I actually got the US version of the box set, so it opens like a book. It's pretty cool. The digital doesn't work though, because it's region locked to the US, but the actual discs are not region locked. So I'm using the 4K disc right now, but you get the 4K and regular Blu-ray for each movie. It opens like a book. Really cool. Really damn cool. I actually bought the UK version first, but they sent me the wrong disc for one of them, so instead I got a refund and I bought the US version instead. So yeah, I think it was worth it. That orange car that Paul Walker drives, the Toyota, iconic. But not quite as iconic as Dom's muscle car, but still, it's memorable. You always remember that car if you're a fan of this franchise. Orion having to blow his cover in front of Dom at the end was a chilling moment. You can see the look on Dom's face like he wants to kill him. Well, crazy scene. I know there's a lot of memes about it, but ever since the start, this series has been about family. And it's true. I know people say it used to be about cars and racing, and then it became something else. Yeah, but also it was all about family the whole time. I also felt like for Fast 5, it was the right time to change it up. If they just kept it the same as before, it would have gone bad anyway. So I think they went the right direction, but they just took it too far with some things. But Fast 5 was the perfect balance of what the franchise could have been afterwards. They just fumbled the bag a bit, but I hope that Fast 10 is a great finale. I know it's split into 2 movies. Fast 10 will be part 1 and part 2. I hope it's great, and I hope at the very least they end on a race. That'd be great, because racing's a big part of it, and obviously it's not there as much as there was in the first few movies. But hopefully in the finale they have a race as a climax at least, or at least more racing in the last 2 movies. That'd be great. Anyway, watched the first one, enjoyed it. Haven't watched it in a while actually, so it was a good little throwback. Onto the second, it's called Too Fast, Too Furious, right? This is where they introduce Tyrese, and I think Ludacris comes in this one as well, right? I think. I was talking about how the orange Toyota was iconic. Completely forgot about the Nissan Skyline. Just noticed that Gambi from Black Lightning is in this as a cop. I did not expect that. To be fair, you're always bound to find characters that you're bound to recognize people that were in other things when you rewatch the older movies, so it kind of makes sense. But still, I'm always surprised to see an actor that I know from something new in a different movie that I'm rewatching from ages ago. Like, I don't expect it, but it's a nice surprise. I really love this big chase scene, man. It's so good. It's so cleverly done as well. I love when they go into that garage and then like 50 cars start driving out, tricking them into thinking, wait, where's the code? Which ones are we chasing now? Whoever thought of that idea for the movie, genius, mate. And I've just watched Fast and Furious 2. I really enjoy this one. I enjoy this one quite a lot, actually. I know there's a few people who don't like it particularly. There's no Dom at all, which is obviously quite interesting because he's obviously the main guy. But obviously this is just the start of the franchise, but still, like, no Dom. I don't think that's why people don't like it, though. I think there's other reasons, but for me it was a very good movie. Had a bit of racing in it here and there. You know, I feel like the only one that was purely racing was Tokyo Drift. Even then there was like other elements to it, but like even the first two movies, you know, they don't beat the bad guys. I love how I call them bad guys. they don't defeat the antagonists by racing them, do they? It's still a like heist type, action type of movie anyway. But still, like, I really enjoy this. I enjoyed the racing scenes in it, enjoyed the action scenes, and it feels like a good buddy cop movie. And I really love buddy cop movies, like Bad Boys, Rush Hour, stuff like that. This feels like a buddy cop movie, and a fun action comedy that also involves cars and racing. So I really enjoy it, and Tyrese was a great addition to this, and obviously Ludacris got introduced as well. I think Ludacris was just okay in this movie, but obviously as the franchise went on, he got more and more interesting. So yeah, really enjoy it, really do. Next up is Tokyo Drift, which is completely unconnected in a way, but also they connect it eventually in Furious 7 and F9 as well. So yeah, let's do this. My life be like ooh ah. This movie has the best songs out of the franchise, 100%. Has a lot of catchy ones, especially, you know what, Tokyo Drift. Okay, there's a song I'm hearing now, and I know what song it is, but I can't remember the name of it. The one with the whistling in it. I'm not going to play it because it's copyright. Great song though. Han's death is a sad scene. Hits hard. Then he turns up later on, obviously, in events that happened before this movie. But then they reveal he's alive in what? Furious 7 or Furious... Yeah, no wait, no. Furious 8. Or was it F9? I think it's actually F9 where they fully revealed he was alive. But yeah, that death actually had a lot of twists, because at the end of 7, in the after credit scene, Jason Statham, it was revealed that he was the one that actually killed him. He was driving the Mercedes that crashed into his car. And then in F9, there was another twist. Also, if you didn't know, in F9, they brought back the crew of Tokyo Drift. Not all of them, just like 3 of them. So the main character, his friend, no, the guy that sells iPads and stuff and laptops, that guy, and there was one other guy. They had 3 characters from Tokyo Drift who were like their own crew in F9, and they were like building rocket cars, etc. So it was cool that they brought them back, but they also brought back a plot twist again. They twisted it in F7 when they revealed that it was Jason Statham that killed him. Then they revealed another twist in F9 for, well, other things that happened on that night and how Han actually survived. And it's quite crazy because they twisted Tokyo Drift's Han's death so many times. It's crazy. It's also interesting how they did the timeline, because this movie actually happens after 7. It's the 3rd movie, but it happens after the 7th movie. Obviously they retconned it to make it that way, but yeah, it literally goes 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, then 3, then 8, then 9. That's literally the timeline. Now, I'm not near the end yet, but I'm pretty sure at the end DK doesn't die, right? The antagonist of this movie. So if DK is not dead and the villain from Too Fast to Furious isn't dead, what if they brought these 2 guys back for Fast 10? Bring back every villain that isn't dead. Bring back every main character from all the movies. Why not? You're doing this big finale. You've already brought back the Tokyo Drift crew anyway. Have DK come back. Have the guy from Too Fast, Too Furious. I think it would be cool if they wanted to do that. That would be cool. Surely it's the last 2 movies. They're gonna do something epic, right? It's gonna be a 2-parter, like, you know, 1 year after the other. You know, like the Avengers did. Go all out. Why not? They already have been, to be fair, but go even more all out. I love how they just stuck Vin Diesel in at the end. Like, I feel like they put Toretto in just for the sake of it. Why did they cameo in this one but not in Too Fast, Too Furious? There must have been a story behind that. I'm pretty sure there was something behind that. I can't remember. Anyway, Fast 4. The first 4 movies are like all 1 hour and 44 minutes long. like around there, 44, 47. So they're really short. I'm getting through the fourth one on the same night. Yeah, to be fair, I had a bit more time today, less videos to record, but still. When they're shorter, quicker to get through. I've already gone through half of the main marathon. I'm currently watching F4, but I just realised something I've noticed in the first two movies as well. There's so many racing scenes in this franchise where someone boosts too early and the other driver says too early, and then he boosts and wins the race. It's happened quite a lot. I didn't realise that. It even happens in F9, I remember, as well. That's something that I never noticed, but it's cool. It's cool how they keep doing that. It's always interesting to me how Gal Gadot is in this movie, because I remember watching these movies in cinemas and she was perfect for the role. Like, she was great in the character that she was playing. So when she eventually got cast as Wonder Woman, I was just like, that girl from Fast and Furious? Wonder Woman? I'm not sure about this. I wasn't hating on the decision, but I wasn't sure. Like, really? The person from Fast and Furious is going to be Wonder Woman? But then the movie came out in 2017. Obviously she was in BVS as well, and she was great in that. And after BVS and after Wonder Woman, I was just like, wow. She's literally the perfect actress to play Wonder Woman. Like, they could not have casted it any better than Gal Gadot. So now, when I rewatch these movies, I'm just like, Wonder Woman is in Fast and Furious? I mean, I knew, but it kind of seems weirder now because, you know, Wonder Woman is such a vastly different character. Obviously, she's an actress and she's going to have range. A lot of actresses have range, and a lot of actors have range. I get that. They play different characters, but it's still impressive, you know? She really nailed Wonder Woman. Like, you wouldn't expect that same person to also be a Fast and Furious character, you know? It's interesting to me. I forgot how insane the chase scene in the tunnel is. I'm watching it right now, it's still going. The chase scene in the tunnel. I love good chase scenes in movies, absolutely love them. F4, that's one of the best chase scenes. Yeah, so I really enjoyed F4. Honestly, like, out of the 8 movies, I forgot the most about F4. Which is kind of interesting because it's actually a good movie. At least to me anyway. I remember when I previously watched it, I loved it as well. But yeah, I've forgotten the most about this movie compared to 1, 2, 3 and 5, 6, 7 and 8. I definitely forget more of F9 than 4 though. I've already forgotten most of F9. But yeah, enjoyable movie. I really like it. I really do like it. And F5 continues straight from F4, and for me F5 is the best one, so I look forward to watching that next. So yeah, so far, you know, I had a good time. F5 is where it peaks. After that it gets worse, but I'll enjoy F5 while it lasts. Oh yeah, Braga didn't die. Braga's henchman died. His assistant died, but Braga himself didn't die. He got life in prison. What if he breaks out? That's another one to bring back for Fast and Furious 10. I'm a genius, bring back all the villains. Now, I never noticed how loud my 4K Blu-ray player is, because I always got headphones on. That's the player. Anyway, I'm watching Fast 5 right now, and on the disc there are 2 versions, the theatrical and extended. And the extended is like 2 minutes longer. Apparently it just has a few extra details that couldn't pass the theaters, something like that. But I chose the extended. It doesn't really matter, I don't think there's a big difference, but why not? I really love how creative this franchise is with their heists. Like, the train one in this movie was crazy. And I can't wait to see the finale heist, because that one is insane. Especially the switch of the with the vault, the way they switched it up with the truck. I did not see that twist coming when I saw it in the cinema. Obviously this was the one where they introduced The Rock, and I think he was the perfect fit as the antagonist in this particular movie, and the way they used him in the sequels, I think he was a perfect fit for what they were going for in these movies. It's just a shame that they fell out, the cast fell out, so he's not in them anymore. He's an option Shaw instead, but I'm kind of holding out hope that they'll resolve things and have him back for Fast 10, because I feel like he suited the role that he played. So I wouldn't mind seeing him back. The franchise does not need him, I don't think, but he did elevate it a little bit, so I'd like to see him back. If not, that's fine. They can still make it big without him, but I prefer they had him back in. Hopefully they do, because he was, especially in this movie, elite. That female police officer in this, Elena. Enough said. Tyrese is so funny, man. What a legend. It's a bit annoying how they literally cut a race out completely. Brian and Toretto went to get a car, and they're racing a guy for a car. Didn't show the race. 1 minute they're negotiating for the car, the next minute they're back at base with the car. I guess there's pacing and stuff, but come on. Gal Gadot is stunning. Unbelievable. You know what? I'm going off track with this. The way The Rock kills Reyes is just so it's so savage, but it was deserved. It was deserved. Also, like, I love that last heist with the vault and everything. It was so cool, and obviously I haven't got a reveal yet, but there's a reveal where they switched the vaults out, which was a really cool switch I never saw coming in cinemas, and I look forward to seeing that scene in a second. But one question I have is, how did that vault stay hooked onto those two cars? All those things they ploughed through. There is no way it's physically possible for those two hooks to stay on that vault. But somehow they did, the entire time, until they let it go. You know what? No, it was still great, it was still great, but that is a bit of a plot convenience. That's such a good movie, man. They probably could have ended it here and it would have been great. It would have been just a great little 5-movie franchise, but obviously they want us to do more, and the after credit scene, the mid credit scene actually, not after credits, mid credit scene teases the next one, which shows that Letty is alive, which is kinda a little bit confusing to me, because they explained how she died in F4. Yeah, sure, they didn't show the full clip, but you know, they showed the guy shooting her and killing her, so you know, they explained her death pretty well. So for them to say she's alive a movie later, it's just like, whoa. Did they even explain it in Fast 6? I can't remember. I'm gonna watch it now just to find out. So Fast and Furious 6 also has an extended edition, and it's just 2 minutes longer. Okay. I completely forgot that the cop from F4 is in this. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, just sort of saying that. The guy who worked in the FBI with Paul, and well, he's not called Paul, he's called Brian in the in the movie, sorry, I couldn't buy his real name. The guy who didn't like him, and the guy just punched in the face in the headquarters, that guy. I'll show you the actor in a second. He's in this. I forgot about that. I did remember that Braga was in this though. Obviously one of the villains from F4. I did realise he was in this because he was working with the main villain of this movie. I do remember that detail. This fellow. I forgot he was in F6, but he was in F4 as well. Connection is interesting because it goes. This feels a bit more like a direct sequel to F4. I mean, F5 also is the same, but like F6 and F5, they both feel like sequels to F4 rather than 6 to 5, if that makes sense. So they do reveal what happened to Letty. She wasn't shot directly in the head, that was just what Dom was seeing. The guy shot the car and it blew her away, and she lost her memory from the blast. Right, okay. And Owen Shaw picked her up like a couple of days later. He went there to kill her, but she lost her memory, so he took her in instead. The dots have been joined up. Okay, I stand corrected. Rita Ora's in this. Completely forgot about that. Just noticed a small detail in the movie. The Rock called Ludacris. Obviously, it's not their character names, but let's just leave it at that. The Rock called Ludacris, and on the phone it said Samoan Thor. Samoan Thor. I never caught that before. You know, as I said, like the 6th, 7th, and 8th movies, they're not good movies, but the stunt work and the action is incredible, and this 6th one has some unbelievable action, and the stunts are just crazy. Dom catching Letty in midair from that tank. I remember being so shook when I first saw that. Just an issue with the climax of the movie. Like, it's one thing for a few cars to hold down an entire jumbo jet, but let's just leave that out of the question for now. There is no way there's a runway that long. That scene is what, 10 minutes? I don't know, it feels like it's real time as well. There's no way the runway is that long. No way. I don't think there's even a runway out there in real life that's that long. That runway is way too long. It's not a real runway, I'm telling you. When The Rock makes that forehead joke to Tyrese at the end of the movie, you know what I'm talking about. It's a meme online. I feel like the reaction was genuine, because Ludacris spitting out his water, everything about it felt authentic. I don't think that was in the script. Like, it felt felt like it was something genuine, and it was so funny. And some people joke that that's the reason why they fell out, or part of the reason, but I don't think it is. I think it's just probably just a clash of egos or whatever. But that was a good joke. Great timing, and I don't think it was in the script, because I'm pretty sure, judging by Tyrese and Ludacris's reactions, that they did not prepare for that 100%. But great scene though. Alright then, 3 in one day, why not? Seven of these in 2 days. I am going crazy. Also, 2 versions in this one. I choose extended. I wonder how much longer this one is. Anyway, yeah, I got a 2-week holiday from work, and I'm on my 2nd week right now at the start. It's Monday, and I'm already on the 7th one. So I'm ahead of schedule, but it's also good because I want to film my next episode before I go back to work, because it's a big one as well. So anyway, yeah, Furious 7. It's not really a good movie, but it has some great stunts, which I really enjoy. I enjoy the fight scenes. So I'm here for that, and I do like Jason Statham as the villain as well, so that's all good. Yeah, the extended version of this, I looked it up, it's also like 2 minutes longer. Apparently the 8th one has a 13-minute longer one though, so I look forward to seeing the difference with that one. Although I don't really remember what the difference will be, to be fair. I do remember the 8th one, but not enough to realise the difference. Haven't seen it recently enough, but still. At least the 8th one will have like a decent chunk of extra content, but these last 3, 1 or 2 minutes extra? Why? It doesn't add much. So I'm just catching this scene where Letty's starting to get memories back, and I just realised Iggy Azalea's in this. Obviously just a short cameo, but I don't remember that before. I also know Ronda Rousey's in this one as well. I forgot Elena was in F7 as well. I assumed the story was done in F6, but she's in F7. And apparently, according to IMDb, she's in F8 as well. Forgot about that completely. I'm sorry, but when Dom is backed into a corner on the edge of that cliff with the hacker, and he drives off, and he doesn't drive off smoothly, like the car hits the rock and smashes down the hill, there is no way you should survive that. But they both survived. They went smashing down a cliff. That's okay. You know what? Unrealistic stunts. That's what they do now. Flying that car in between 3 buildings. It's stupid, but entertaining. I guess that's pretty much what the stunts are in these recent movies. Stupid, but entertaining. Pretty much. Apart from the 9th one. Wasn't a fan of that one. So despite its flaws, the action is entertaining enough to keep you going through, and Jason Statham's a great villain. I'm on the ending now. Emotional, touching, sad, but a very well done scene. The song's starting to play now. Rest in peace to Paul. It's tragic what happened to him, but you know, it happened. Nothing you can do. But the way they paid tribute to him in this movie, they couldn't have done any better. Like, it was perfect. So yeah, rest in peace. Next up is the fate of the Furious, Fast 8, the first one without Paul. Buckle up. So I just found an issue with the box set. Fast and Furious 8, The Fate of the Furious, does not have the extended edition in this box set. On the box, on the packaging, it says the extended cut is included for 4 of the movies, including this one. But when I play the disc, the option is not there. I tried it on the regular Blu-ray, option is still not there. The box lied. I have got it on digital though, because I did redeem a code. I've got it on there, but I was thinking, like, even though I can watch that on my TV as well, I'd much rather watch the 4K Blu-ray disc or theatrical and just watch that than watch the extended on stream. That's just my thinking. I will save the extended for a future time, make a video on it, see if it's better, but for now, theatrical edition. It's annoying because the other three extended editions had like 2 minutes extra. This one's extended has like 13 minutes extra footage. Damn it, I really want to see that 13 minutes. I will save it for another time. I'll save it for another time. I know I could just go and stream it on YouTube, but I'll save it, I'll save it. You know what? I really appreciate their creativity with the stunts. They always think of something more ridiculous every single movie. I respect the creativity, I really do. Whoever comes up with these ideas, fair enough, mate, fair enough. This wrecking ball at the start, my word. The back and forth in that prison between Jason Statham and The Rock is so funny, man. I'm so glad they put them together in the buddy cop movie in Hobbs and Shaw. It was perfect. I love buddy cop type movies, so I'm so glad there was a spin-off that was a buddy cop movie and it was Jason Statham and The Rock. And the way they don't get along, the way the characters don't get along in this movie, it works. It was perfect. Perfect spin-off idea. Cypher's team is overpowered, man. Her hacker hacked into 1,000 cars in New York. Had them all self-driving into a convoy. Once again, the creativity is mad. The creativity is mad. The links between the villains are quite interesting as well, because I feel like they've been building up to Cypher from like Fast 4. I mean, not really, but when you think about it, Fast 4's villain is Braga. And Braga is revealed to be working with Owen Shaw, who's the villain in Fast 6. And the Fast 7 villain is the brother of Fast 6's villain. And then in Fast 8, Jason Statham, who's obviously the brother, he has links to Cypher. He didn't work for her, but he refused to work for her. So it's kind of like, it's clutching at straws. I'm kind of reaching here, but in a way, the chain happened. The chain did happen, because it went from Braga to Owen, to Owen's brother, to Cypher. I'm not a fan of the way they killed Elena off. Like, it made sense for the story, but she deserves more of a badass death. The jokes in this are funny, man. Ever since they introduced Tyrese to be a regular in this movie series, the comedy's been great, apart from F9. In that one, the comedy fell flat. But between the 5th one and the 8th one, Tyrese is funny. It's not just him. It's Ludacris, even The Rock. There's some real good comedy in this, and I love it. I'm so glad they brought these two back. I think they were missing for 2 movies. So glad they came back. I do appreciate the ideas behind this movie, though, because, like, there's been 7 movies before this. They've beaten all sorts of villains and criminals, etc. How can you up the stakes? How can you do something bigger and something tougher for the team aside from a stronger villain? You turn Dom against them. You turn Dom evil. It's a good idea. Execution I don't think was perfect, but ideas were there. The ideas were there. I appreciate the ideas behind this movie more than the previous 3 at least. I honestly do feel that this movie is better than 7 and 6. I do feel that's the case. 5 is the best one, but I'd go as far as to say like this one's better than 4. I don't get it, man. How does The Rock push a torpedo into another car? Creative. We'll leave it at creative rather than stupid. I guess it's both. I'm sorry, but this has to be said. That scene of Jason Statham saving that baby from the plane is one of the best scenes in Fast and Furious history. I'm telling you, it's one of the best scenes in the entire franchise. It came in one of the weaker movies, arguably, yeah, sure. I do prefer the first 3 movies and the 5th one, definitely, to the rest. But, Jason Statham saving that baby is easily one of the best scenes in the entire franchise. For me, it's top 5, generally. It's that entertaining. You know, when this video started, I felt as if the best one was the 5th one, and then it would be between the first 4 movies, and then it would be 6, 7, and 8, not necessarily in order. I changed my mind a little bit. I would put 8 above 4, and also above 6 and 7, but not above 5. So it'd probably be like 5, and then between the first 3, and then 8, and then 4, and then 7 and 6. And Hobbs and Shaw would be somewhere in the middle. And speaking of Hobbs and Shaw, I'm watching it right now. They really added some big names into Hobbs and Shaw, you know. Vanessa Kirby, Idris Elba, Ryan Reynolds. So random, yet so good. I was enjoying this hilarious back and forth between The Rock and Jason. And then Kevin Hart pops up out of nowhere. I completely forgot about his cameo. It did surprise me in cinemas as well, to be fair, but I completely forgot that cameo happened. I also forgot that Ava Gonzalez is in this. They really put a lot into this movie. Guess you have to make up for the main crew not being there. I love the fact that they put Roman Reigns in this. brings the family vibe. So Hobbs and Shaw's a fun movie. I personally love buddy cop movies, and this is what that felt like. It felt like a buddy cop movie within the Fast and Furious franchise. To be fair, so did Too Fast, Too Furious. But yeah, this was a spin-off that felt like a buddy cop movie. Compared to the main Fast and Furious movies, this is very grounded, but still has the grand scale of it, saving the world, you know, and crazy stunts, crazy action. some unrealistic, of course, in Fast and Furious fashion. I get that it's separate to the main timeline, but I still really enjoy it for what it is. And The Rock and Jason Statham is a great combo, and the rest of the cast did a good job as well. So yeah, I did actually read an article. Apparently The Rock is not coming back to Fast 10 and 11, so that's a bit frustrating, but I did hear that Hobbs and Shaw 2 is in the works, so at least we get that. I guess the cast won't get over it, but it is what it is. Anyway, that's the end of my marathon. Had a good time. You know, half of them not so good, but you know, they still have enjoyable stunts. It's mainly F9 that I didn't really enjoy, and I'm glad I didn't watch that one in this marathon. But the rest of them, you know, it's a worthy box set, and yeah, it's not too bad. The 4K is alright. It gets better as it goes along. But yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that the 8th one did not have the extended edition, even though the box set says it has it. Fraudulence. Anyway, I aim to do a couple more big marathons coming up. Hopefully I can get them filmed before I go back to work, and that'd be great. This is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, and see ya.